Hello everyone, this is Jim from Hanson's Philam Life. We're here to give you the benefit of what experience we have living here in the Philippines and our experience with Filipinos previous to moving here. Hopefully this information will make your transition to moving here or visiting here easier. Now, moving here is actually Dumaguete in Negros Oriental in the Philippines. We moved here about 2 years ago. My wife is a Filipina. We've been married around 10 years. 10-year anniversary will be coming up in a little over a month. So today I want to talk to you about banking. Now you may or may not want to have a Philippine bank account. What we do is we have a Charles Schwab account. So any ATM transaction is reimbursed, so it doesn't cost us anything. So we have found that with Dumaguete at least being largely a cash only for the most part environment here. I mean, street vendors, they don't take credit cards. Hotels, yeah, they may. Probably will, like a Visa or MasterCard. Restaurants, they probably will. Department stores, they will. Smaller stores, you go downtown to a shop down there, they probably don't. They may, but they probably don't. Now, if you're using a credit card, especially a credit card, or a debit card here in the Philippines, you are going to have to deal with another expense, which is the exchange rate. Now, if you're lucky, you get a good exchange rate. If you're unlucky, you get a less than desirable exchange rate. Now, say you buy something that's going to cost you $100 in US dollars. Well, the actual cost here may be $105. So when you make that purchase, it's going to be in Philippine pesos. It may end up costing you $105. That's just an example. Now, going to the ATM is going to be the same thing. You're going to get an exchange rate that I believe, if I understand the banking system here right, is going to be set by the bank that runs the ATM. Now, any ATM transaction that we have, since we do business with Charles Schwab, is going to be reimbursed. So there are no ATM fees for us. At the end of the month, we get reimbursed for all of those. We also get paid interest on the money we have in our account. So for us, Charles Schwab has been a really good thing. Charles Schwab is very international friendly. You can use your card internationally and there's no problem. Charles Schwab, expects that. Other banking system banks in the US, they may do similar things, reimburse, and I don't think that anybody is going to reimburse you for the exchange rate difference. Now, what you can do is you can open a bank account here, and there's two types of bank accounts. Now, you can sub-accounts. There's a peso account, which is kept entirely in pesos. And if you give them dollars, they'll convert it at the current exchange rate, which if you go to the bank, they have a sell and a buy. They're going to buy, which is lower than the sell. They're trying to make money. Okay, so you go and you take your dollars and give them the dollars, and they give you pesos in your account. Now, you can withdraw that and it would be in pesos, so there's no further exchange rate problems there. The other kind of account is a dollar account. You can get a dollar account and transfer money from the US into that account, and there's no exchange rate difference because it's dollars to dollars. Now, that account, when you see that there's a favorable exchange rate, take some money out, convert it to pesos, put it in your peso account, or keep it safe someplace, and use that. The only problem with that is that you may wait and wait and wait, and the exchange rate just keeps getting worse. When we first moved here, it was 50 something, and for the better part of the 2 years, it has gone down to, I think, as far as 47. A few years ago, when we came over to pick up Kim, the exchange rate then, I think, was about 42. Anyway, so exchange rates, you may want to keep on top of that. But we do the Charles Schwab, pull money out of the account as we need it, and then our biggest expenses is rent and utilities, and after that, the expenses are pretty, I wouldn't say minimal, but they're much smaller. So all four of these banks that I'm going to talk to you about, which are BDO, which is Banco de Oro, and BPI, which is Bank of the Philippine Islands, PNB, which is Philippine National Bank, and Metro Bank. There are other banks too, but I think these are probably, from what I can see, the four largest ones. There's smaller ones. There's some Chinese banks and some regional banks, whatever. Now, to open the account, you're going to have, if you're an expat, you will have to have lived here continuously for 6 months. That's what they tell me anyway. And one of the IDs kind of reinforces that. So you have to live here for 6 months continuously. Now you're going to have to prove your residency, like a rental contract. You also will be required to present IDs. For an expat, that could be like a passport, Philippine driver's license, American driver's license, or you could use an ACR card, which ACR card, which is the Alien Certificate of Registry. You don't get that until you've been here for 6 months. So there's the tie-in to the 6 months being here. So all four banks are pretty close in their requirements. Now the BPI bank tellers, or ATMs, you can pull out up to 20,000 pesos per transaction. There's going to be a limit depending on your bank. Like for me, Charles Schwab, I can do about 40,000 a day, and then I couldn't do another full 10 or 20,000. So a little over 40,000 a day. So if you were going to do rent, and let's just say your rent was 50,000 a month, I pull out 40,000 or 20,000. My wife pulls out 20,000. That's how we get the 40,000 in a day. Now the next day we'll have to go get some more money, and then we could pay our rent of 50,000. Our rent's not that high; it's much lower. Let's see. You also they have different types of accounts within each bank. Now, they may have a passport account, which gives you a checking and a ledger. For in the U.S., it would be a checking account, and then there's what would be the equivalent of a savings account, which you could get an ATM card with. Now, they have a premium kind of account where you can have the ledger and the passbook, or the ATM card, but it's a fee. Depends on the bank, so you'd want to check with them. Well, I hope this has been helpful. When we first moved here, we went from bank to bank trying to figure out what we needed, and I couldn't get an account. My wife and son, they both got accounts. We've got them at BDO. If I'd have to do it all over again, I would use the BPI bank. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments, and I'll get to them as quick as possible. Now, if you have any questions, just ask them in the comments. If you have any comments, please do that. If you'd like to suggest future topics, I'll do my best to fulfill those. And if you like this video, please click on the like. That helps us. Also, if you can, subscribe. Subscribing and liking show YouTube that these are the kind of videos that you like, and they will present them to you when you are on YouTube. Also, you could share this video or any of the videos with friends or family, and that would spread the word. In the meantime, though, I want to thank you for being with me today, and I hope to see you in the next video. You take care, and thanks again.